All right, let's start here. Okay, here we go. I forgot to hit that button. Let's hit that button now. We're hitting that button. We've had the failures, and now welcome to the new show. Once again, the new show is called Geek Tech Talk Live with Jeffrey Powers. You got questions on technology, ask them here. If you don't have questions on technology, ask them here anyway. We'll see what happens, and we'll go from there. The goal of this is to show you cool tech that I've looked over in years past and years future and years to come. And I've, a little bit about me. I have been in this tech business for, many, many years. I started Geekazine in 2007 as a podcast, a little bit of technology, a little bit of everything. And then started doing video after that. Went to my first consumer electronics show, and that's when I realized how I can make this into a full-time business. Because I had a 9-to-5 job, just like a lot of you out there, and I was working at that 9-to-5 job, and then that day came that 9-to-5 job didn't want me to work there anymore. So that's fine. So I started doing this as a full-time thing. So I go out to conferences like CES, like the NAB's coming up, National Association of Broadcasters, and lots of tech conferences, and I learn a lot. I cover in the consumer tech, music tech, and enterprise technology, and some auto tech as well. Not as much as it used to be, but I'm hoping to change all that and get some more car reviews, auto reviews, other than what I see at CES. So, like I said, I go out to conferences, but nowadays the conferences aren't happening. I mean, technically, I was supposed to be in California this week. That got canceled for an enterprise tech event. That got canceled. We're doing it virtually, so I'll be on that starting tomorrow, but not as intense as it would have been if I would have been out in California. And then, of course, at the end of the week, I was going to go to South by Southwest, and you know what happened with South by Southwest. It got canceled. And what can you do? So we got a couple weeks, and so I decided to get onto here and just kind of rock you guys out and let you guys check out the tech, all the cool stuff. Now, I'm thinking about this, and of course, hey, there's many different ways that you can subscribe and like and comment. Do it wherever you want, you feel comfortable doing it. And, that little star on the bottom corner, you just hit that. And hit that again and again and again. And all the likes and all that, go ahead and hit those, because those are great ways to keep in touch with me. Of course, Twitter, just think magazine, put in a geek, and you got me. So, all right. So I was thinking, okay, what do I do for my first episode? It was just always the one thing, because I wanted this to be more than just a show of me reviewing tech. I'm going to turn this into something a little bit more than that. Hopefully we'll have segments. Hopefully we'll have a lot more. Like, for instance, this thing right here, you're not seeing it, but, actually right here, this is the Amazon Fire HD10. Over the week I purchased it. I did an unboxing over on geekazine.com, and I reviewed, did a little review on this thing, and I'm using this. One of the segments we're going to do is Amazon Fire apps that you can download. We don't have any right now because I still set it up. I have my Amazon Fire Tablet 7 over here, which controls some of my sound, and then of course this will take care of all the apps and stuff like that. So I figured, as a good start, I thought I would show you a little bit about my studio, how I put out content. Now, keep in mind, when I put out content in many different ways, I use different computers, I use different cameras, I use different capture cards, I use lots of cool things. Like right here, we have a camera right here. This is a nice Sony camera that I use every now and then. I've got the Elgato Cam Link, which I use every now and then. We've got a new camera from Mevo that's coming out in April, and we're going to talk about this in the future. But it's basically their second generation to their Mevo Plus. This is called the Mevo. I'm drawing a blank. Mevo Start. threw a blank. Okay. So anyway, the whole idea is that, you know, I capture video, whether it be just recording it, post-producing it, and putting it up, which you will then see on Geekazine, or it'll be something that goes live, like right here, right now. And yeah, just lots of fun here, right now. So I don't know. I think I pushed this out here, but we do have a chat. We do have a chat that you can go to. Where'd that go? Why did that close? There we are. We do have a chat that you can go to that that you can say hi to and go from there. Let's return to the live stream. There we are. And everything like that. And hey, you know, as you see down below, we have all this cool merchandise. Like, for instance, right now we have what you're seeing right now is the Geekazine logo t-shirt, or the wear, which I do have on that you can get up on Amazon. It is a, well, there's several different things, from hoodies to sweatshirts to everything like this. So like, this is the Geekazine, the 10-year Geekazine logo, which you'll see on the top there. But underneath, I just added the post 10-year, which is just basically the Geekazine logo. In now they've got it in zipper hoodies. This is just a regular hoodie. The zip hoodie, which I should have by the end of the week, and the Raglan baseball tee. Of course, the t-shirt and sweatshirt. So you can get Geekazine stuff. I do have some other designs there as well, and working on some other designs to get the line going. So if you've got anything that you know, any designs that you want to see, just let me know. Tweet me at Geekazine, and we can go from there. So, all right. So I thought, as this first live video, what we should do is we should just show you what I use inside my studio to live stream. I think this is a fun little start here. This will take about an hour to do, where all the products, and of course you can get all the products. I'll have all the links as we go down the line here. And we're gonna start. Let's start off with. Let's just get right into it. So, I use inside of my house, I have a bedroom that's dedicated as a studio, and it's about I don't know, standard bedroom size, 12 by 22 or something like that. I don't know. Anyway, it's not too bad. It's a lot of it's what I use to not only create content but also work, since I do work at home. With my studio, I've done a lot of things, like, for instance, this nice little back wall with all the pictures. You can watch, you can take a look at some of these pictures. This is pretty much everything that I've done in the last 12 years on Geekazine, and we put it into picture format. I printed it out on the HP Sprocket, which I don't have a link for, but the HP Sprocket's nice little photo printer. That has sticky back tape, so I just started sticking them to the wall, and as you can see, I made the little Geekazine logo, and you know, there's Madison, Wisconsin. This is where I am from, where I live, Madison, Wisconsin. And then of course you can keep watching in the background, see who's in there. In fact, we could zoom in just a touch. Maybe we could zoom in more. You can see some of this back wall back there. And you see some of these pictures, some of the cool stuff that I got to work with. And yes, so let's just, there we go. So, all right. So with the studio, and I've been doing live streams forever. In fact, I do have another live channel that has all my pre-recorded content over on, you could check it out over at Geekazine, right on the sidebar, and you'll see all that stuff there. But with that said, let's talk about that, because I do some live stream. Like last year, I did some live streams for a few different companies. The biggest one I did was a thing called Hardware Con, and I don't think I'm going to do Hardware Con this year, simply because of the event of the coronavirus. But we'll see what happens. I don't think they've made a decision just yet on whether they're doing their event or not. But I go out and I do live streams. and I use this is a lot of the gear that I also use in the live stream. I'm also a musician, so some of this gear I also use with the band. So hopefully that gives you a good idea of who I am, what I do, and go from there. Let's do this. Let's do this because I want to see myself as I go. And yeah, there we go. There we go. So anyway, we're gonna start with the Qsc Touch Mix 16. What is this? This is a 16-channel mixer. I think we're on that right now. There we are. It's right behind me here. 16-channel mixer. This is what I use not only for podcasting, not only for live streams, but it also is for my band and for any of the music that I do. So it's got 16 channels, 16 inputs, actually more than 60. It's got 20 inputs. It's got 8 auxiliary XLRs and then 4 more channels for output. And then headphone and a monitor. It's got 16 levels gain. It's all digital. So I can take a tablet, I can take my phone, and I can call up the app, and then I can control the app right from there. It's a really nice device. I can give my bandmates their own feed, so that when they want to mix their monitors their way, they can do so, and everybody's happy. Everybody, they just really enjoy the fact that it's so controllable and we can control our sound on stage. Same thing here with all the microphones that I use. I try to run through the mixer to give it the best opportunity for sound possible, and that's the key. And so I can use things like this headset microphone. Now I'd love to tell you about this headset and microphone, but the company that I bought it from went out of business, so no links for you, unfortunately. But there are very similar headset microphones out there that you can get. I suppose we could find some and do a future episode on these types of headset microphones. And then of course you have some high-end brand names like DPA comes to mind, Countryman comes to mind. You can definitely get those types of microphones. This was a brand that, a company that was in the UK, and really great company. I've had microphones like this for several years. I'm not a big fan to having, a microphone in my face like this, because, I don't want to. I'm not hiding. I'm not hiding here. So I wanted to have a microphone that shows everything off. Now I could have put an overhead microphone and a lapel microphone. This one's the best because I can just simply take it off and put it over here, and then I'm done. And then put it on. I do have other microphones that I do set up when I don't want to wear the headset microphone, that, like a little podium microphone. And in fact, over on Geekazine, like I showed you here, let's go back here, there we go. The second one here is podium mics for conference calls. In fact, I am going to be doing a series on things to do to prepare yourself for the live conference, the virtual aspect of 2020. If you have to be in a meeting online, this is the best way to do it. And square up your camera so it's eye level. You don't have to have it as far back as mine, but have a nice presenting look. Have a light that comes from behind the camera to you so it lights you up. Don't have windows behind you because that could create bright spots and it looks ugly. Have microphones like podium microphones or headset microphone to make sure that the sound is at its best. Things like that, and I'll be doing more videos on that as we go. But the first one, like I said, the Qsc Touch Mix is great in so many ways. When I bring guests in, here's a way. When I used to do it, and I do it now every now and then, I'll actually bring it through the speakers into the mixer, and it has a way to cancel it out. So when the person on the Skype or on a Hangout or on whatever I'm using for video capture, it doesn't echo back to them. And that's one of the biggest problems, is it might echo back, and they don't want that you don't want that to happen. So we can fix that there, and that's what I like about this. And I can also send them their own feed, so they can hear me, but they can't hear themselves. And really, really, really nice. So other features on this, it has effects in here that when I used to be in bands, even 8 years ago, bands would have a mixing board, and then they have a rack of all these cool electronics underneath, and they were compressors and equalizers and gates and duckers, and I said duck, D-U-C-K, duckers, which is basically, if you have music and I start talking, it brings the music down. That's what a ducker does. It had, all these effects, phasers, unphasers, rephasers, whatever. Set your phasers to stun, set your swords, your laser beams, your whatever, and just a whole rack of that. Now, this little thing right here, the size of a laptop, I take to my events, and I set next to by my side. My other musicians friends, they use tablets, phones to control their sound. I can control it from here. And it's just got a super small footprint. And even if I had like a sound guy, that sound guy would have a tablet, and he or she would then just control it from the tablet and keep going from there. It's amazing what we can do with technology and sound nowadays. So the Qsc Touch mix is then brought into the computer, and then the computer sends it out to you. I use a program called Wirecast from Telestream, which is a great program, and it allows me to do all this switching. I use another program called New Blue FX Titler Broadcast, which allows me to create graphics like this one right here and have a little bit of animation to it, and in some cases even have audio like whooshes and swooshes and tushes and everything else. And that's a lot of fun. So I can really make this look like a live production thing. In fact, I want to let you know that Geekazine.com, all these products, some of these products I did get for review from the company. Some of these products I bought on my own. All opinions are of Geekazine. You can go over to Geekazine.com/review. It's right there to find out more about all my policies and procedures on reviewing, especially if you got a product that you want me to take a look at. So anyway, let's move on from there. So we got the mixer. Now it's time to show you the camera. Now with the camera, we'll switch over there. We'll switch over here. The camera I use, I've used Canon cameras. I use Sony cameras now for the most part, but I do have smaller cameras that I've been using on conferences, because they've got such a small footprint. They're not breaking my back while I'm hauling them around. It's amazing. But when I do some higher end shoots, I use this one right here. This is the Sony 4K. This is the AX700. They have a I don't want to say a lower end model, but they have a cheaper model for about $700. But the AX700 does 4K. It's got the hybrid AF automatic focus, that is, with 273 points and a wide coverage, and it's an amazing thing. I've used it. I'm using it right now, of course. And let's see, we got it right here. You can see that. So hi, how's it going? And so this is what I always use to send out my video to you guys, so you can see me as best as possible. I can fully control it with iris, with shutter speed, and without paying the next level of prices for cameras to get the broadcast, the high-end broadcast stuff. This, for 16 to 18, right now it's $18.98. It'll vary as we go, but it's a great camera. It's a sturdy camera. It's a powerful camera. I can use this. I could record from this camera and send it out to stream, and I've done that many times before. So it's just a very durable camera, and it's got nice steel frame to it. I've dropped this camera a couple times, and it doesn't show a scratch or bump which is great. And I thought I lost it one time when it went down on the concrete hard. But I picked it up, and no, not a problem. Not a problem right there. So anyway, that's the Sony FDR-AX700. It is an amazing camera, 4K. One thing I wish that it do was 60 frames a second, but that's okay. I think I don't mind it. When it comes to record, it only records in 30 frames a second. When I do live streams, I can pull it from here and send it to another device that does do 60 frames a second, which I'm recording in 60 frames a second, although you're watching it live at 30 frames a second. Now you're going, what's the difference between 30 frames and 60 frames? Well, it's a little bit crisper on a 60 frame a second video. It is a little bit, it looks a little brighter, I think. I like it that way. In fact, if you watch this post-recording on the channels, you will see at 60 frames a second. You'll go, yeah, okay, I see. Yeah, and you'll be able to switch it back and forth between 30 and 60. And of course, on the podcast, this definitely goes out to my podcast channel. We'll definitely shorten it down a little bit, but that'll be at 30 frames a second, 720p, 30 frames a second, which right now live, that's what you're seeing. So anyway, that is that. I forgot to switch over to there because the phone turned off. Let's switch it over. There we go. It's the Sony FDR-AX700. It's an amazing camera, and you should definitely take a look at that. Next up, in the studio, the one thing that I really needed was a monitor to see what was going on, because I've done this before where I've had situations where I had teleprompters in front of the camera. I've had situations where I've looked to the side to see what's going on and then switch back and forth, and that kind of disconnects from people. So I ended up getting a nice TV monitor, because when I'm not using it for streaming or anything like that, I can actually watch TV shows. I can watch YouTube videos at full screen and things like that. So what I chose for that was the TCL Roku. That's not that one. The TCL Roku TV, which is this one right here, 50-inch 4K. And it's amazing. They have a 43-inch, 55-inch. This one's $269.99. And the 43-inch, I believe, it's going to be less, $229. They have lesser sizes, and they all work great. And, of course, they're Roku TVs, so I can put my apps on them. And I can just use them for what I need to use them for. I can actually hook up two HDMI sources. So I do have the live stream computer, which then can pump into onto the TV so I can see what's going. Or if I'm playing my Xbox, I'll have that pumped up to the TV, and I can play the games from there, and just have a lot of fun with that. It's an amazing TV. In fact, let's take a look at it right now. That's it right there. You see the camera right there. There's the camera, and then of course there's the monitor. And this is the program Wirecast I was telling you about. It's Wirecast 13. It is an amazing program to do all the switching. Those different colors you see there are the layers. So the top layer has my logo and things like that. The second layer has where my graphics come in, the lower thirds that you saw earlier. And then this layer right here has the video. The third layer has the videos shots. And then the fourth layer is my audio. And that's how I normally have that set up. It's pretty cool because I can take this and I can use this to see what's going on. If I need to readjust any of the cameras, I can do it on the fly. So I'm looking at you, and I have an eye close to the scenes that I need. It's an amazing product, and just the monitor itself, it's awesome. And what I've done is I've fashioned this. You can't see this right now, but there's an old TV cart, like you would have seen in high school, where they put the projector on and the slide machine and stuff like that. I got one of those, and I put a couple they're back rails that you would put on the wall to put like a shelving system on, and then I put the TV right on that. So a little bit of ingenuity to make my own TV stand, Geek TV stand, I guess you could call it. And it's an amazing thing. I'd show you the cart, but it's filled with junk right now because I'm trying to reorganize this place. I just reset up my keyboards and my music corner of things so I can do more music related reviews and things like that. And so that's what that is right there. So anyway, that is the TCL TV. Let's move on to the next thing, and that is the lights. We've got a few different lights up here, and hopefully this will go over well. If it doesn't, I might turn them off. We'll see what happens. So I'm going to hit this button right here. That is one of the lights. Oh, it's so bright. It's so bright. What is this light that you'll see in the air? Well, these are the side lights, and this is the newer dimmable bicolor LED with U bracket, and I can also get barn doors if I wanted to, which is great about this light. And you can put a diffuser on there, which I believe is on there. Yeah, they're on there. I got one on my left and one on my right, and they point towards me for the light. And it's an amazing light. I bought this. I bought it a year and a half ago because we were doing some on the road stuff, and I needed to start lighting the area. And we went past that for the next piece, which I'll show you in a minute. But these lights, they're great, and I'll still use them. And in the right situation, I will definitely take them with me to light a subject or a panel or an interview or anything like that. So these are lights by Neewer, Neewer. Of course, you can check that link down there. We'll have all the links in the show notes if you're seeing this after the live event as well. In the middle, it just takes some time being in the middle, right? There's another light, and it's not flipping. Why is it not flipping? Oh, that's why. Let's do that. There we go. The big light. That's the big light, and that is this is actually a fabric LED light. So the coolest thing, the reason why I bought this one is the fact that it rolls up. It's very small, very lightweight, and that's the last time you'll see those lights. So don't worry. that's it. So this is the Fossetan. It is and this is the light. And the stand doesn't come with it. I don't, unless I link to them with the stand. But anyway, really awesome fabric LED light. It folds up into that small case. I mean, the case is the size of a trumpet, the size of this tablet right here. And it's lightweight. And the heaviest thing is the aluminum, or aluminium, as some people would say, brace around the light. It has a diffuser, and it's all Velcroed. So I pull it out, I put the frame together, I put the lights on the back, Velcro, I put the diffuser on the front, Velcro, and plug it in, and it's good to go. No battery. Neither the Neewers do have battery connection, so if I don't have electricity, I can put a power source to it. But the fabric LED does not have a battery to it. I'd have to figure out something if I was in that situation where I would need to put in power. So anyway, that's the first part of things. I was taking a second to kind of wet my whistle here. There's water, don't worry. Gotta have water, gotta stay hydrated. That's the important thing right there. Let's move on from there. So that was the Fossetan. I didn't switch over to the Fossetan. I'm still getting used to this new system right here. But that's the Fossetan FL lights and fabric lights. It's an amazing device. You should check it out if you're looking to light your room. And it's only $169.99 at this point in time. It can vary, it can change as things go. But I think, yeah, because I remember getting it at $149. You know, and of course I probably bought it at some sale or something like that, a Black Friday sale or something like that. But it's an amazing thing. Another amazing thing is this camera that you're seeing all the stuff. I can't show you the camera because I don't have a I do have a camera to point to that camera, but it's not plugged in. Anyway, this is the camera right here. It's what's called a PTZ camera, point tilt zoom camera. And it is from PTZ Optics. It's amazing because this has the ability to send out video via SDI, which kind of looks like, you know, an old, you know, just a TV connection type thing. If we won't get into the BNC cable type stuff, but it has SDI, it has HDMI, which is the standard, you know, plug into your TV, HDMI type stuff. And then it has over the network through a protocol called NDI. NDI is a protocol that a company called NewTek put out, and NDI, it's an amazing protocol. It works over the network. So the video goes from the network back and forth. In fact, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to the next shot here. Actually, I'll go to this shot right here. That's not the shot I wanted. So let's go back to that shot. Let's go back to this one. Okay. So the cool thing about that is, in fact, I'll just, let's see, we'll go like that. So now this PTZ Optics is showing this one, but if I want to show you the QSC, I just hit a button, and there it's pre-programmed. It'll move on its own. I've used this for so many things. It's just a lifesaver because I can preset scenes, and I can zoom in, I can zoom out, I can reposition if I need to. So if I need to come back here, boom, I'm coming back here. If I need to go over here to the camera, I can go over to the camera. It does the autofocus. It has the ability to do iris, and has ability to do frame rate and shutter speed, excuse me. So it's very controllable. Plus, it can then also even stream out on its own. And with the internet connection, it's also what's called PoE, power over Ethernet. So I can leave the power cord in the case. I can use a network cable that'll go from the camera all the way to the router. It has to be a PoE router, of course, and then I can send it off without having an extra plug to deal with. And it's amazing what I can do with all this, and I can switch it all out and go from there. We're going to switch this back over to here because we're going to be coming here next, but we'll get there. We'll get there. So anyway, that's the PTZ Optics 20x SDI. They have a 30x as well. So if you're in a big hall, 30-time optical zoom, which means you can be the back of the hall and zoom and catch, get at somebody's face. When I was using it for Hardware Con, the 20x zoom, I could get up. They were doing a lot of cool events, and a couple of the keynotes, I could get up to the speaker's face and show his or her expressions. It was amazing. It was great. It's great. This is a great camera. Use them all the time, and if you can get yourself one for live streaming, do it. Just do it. So. This camera, the Sony camera, is the only camera that plugs directly in via HDMI into the computer. And the card that I'm using, some of the other capture devices like that, the Elgato Cam Stream, and this one right here, which is the AverMedia 4K capture. These are all USB. But this one is a PCIe card, goes right into the desktop and goes up to 4K. SDI and HDMI, and that is the Blackmagic Design right there. There we go. The Blackmagic Design Decklink Mini Recorder 4K PCIe capture card. Now, I have a few different capture cards. I have the Magewell HDMI 4 HDMI card, which is great. It only goes up to 1080p. This goes to 4K, so when I want to record at 4K, I can do so. I've also got the Blackmagic SDI input cards, input device and that works really well. But this one is perfect for this, for what I'm doing. I can bring in one video source. The other video sources I can bring in via the USB or through NDI as well. In fact, the graphics that you saw, the lower third, is actually coming from another computer, and that's running NDI into this computer, and it's seamless. You don't notice it, do you? And it's amazing what I can do there. So, all right. So the capture card goes from there. I wanted to debut the newest part to it, but there was a small problem in getting this going. It's basically how I'm planning to record my live streams from the future. I've done this in the past, so I must have a setting that I'm missing here because it's been a while since I've used this one. But anyway, this is right here. This is the Blackmagic. We'll flip over here. The Blackmagic Design Video Assist, which basically hooks up into my video card as an HDMI monitor. So it's like having another monitor on my computer. In my studio, the main desktop computer has 3 monitors. The one I showed you, the TCL, the main monitor, which if you're seeing any of the graphics, the web pages, you're seeing it from that monitor. And then there's a third monitor, which you can't see right now. But what it does, what I've got it doing right now is it's remoted into the other machine, and I'm seeing the live stream as it's going. So if there's any hiccups or stutters, I know that I need to fix something. So I can watch it from there, and I can see that everything's going great. So I'm really happy about that. And now it's got this fourth monitor, which is right here. It's off, so it's not working. But the idea is that this fourth monitor will end up recording the video that I'm sending out. I had to record it the old way, which works really well. But I wanted to get it here because this will record in what's called ProRes, which is a more higher defined, more bitrate type video, which then I can use, and when I bring it over to do post-production, it looks crisper, it looks cleaner, and then I can fix it, I can adjust it from there, and then put it on the channels that way. So I use this when I'm on the road. Every time that I've been on the road, this is what captures the recording. And then I got another device that actually streams out. I believe when you're doing high-profile video stuff like this, live streaming video like this, you need to separate different things. Give each device a task. So that device records, and then this one right here, which I wasn't going to talk about, but I'm going to talk about now. This is the Epiphone Webcaster X2. And what this does is this will then stream out to my channels. And it's even got an ability to stream out to a service, which will then stream out to several channels, which is awesome. So I can send it out to one service or many services. And like I said, I don't have that. I could probably put that into my links a little bit later. And of course, in the show notes, you'll see all those links as well. Finally, I just want to show you one more thing, and that's this thing right here. This is just an amazing lifesaver. This is called the Elgato Stream Deck. What this is a programmable button system, which allows me to create buttons and just basically push from there. Like, for instance, I can start and stop my stream with this button right here. I can stop and start my recording with this button right here. I can turn everything off with... You get the idea, right? Okay. So, all these buttons, whenever I'm switching, I'm using these buttons to switch. These buttons right here are switching on the other computer. And some of these buttons, all these buttons don't work because I don't have it set up for this show just yet. These two buttons work right here. But the cool thing about this is I can change, it has a page system. So these are all my presets for that PTZ Optics camera. This is the PTZ Optics camera if I need to make adjustments. I don't want to focus. I want to focus. I want to zoom out a little bit. I want to zoom in a lot. You know, you get the idea. But this thing right here it's just an amazing thing that I can have everything at my fingertips. Now, before this little device right here, I had to look at the keyboard, look at the mouse, figure out which screen it was on, and if I had something on another computer, I had to have another keyboard and mouse, or set it up so I can do a remote desktop into it. And so that meant a lot of things happening that it got confusing after a while. Now it's down to this thing right here, and just I just so love the fact that Elgato came up with this thing, and they came up with this thing not as much for live streaming the way that I do it, but you know, for those of you that did the Twitch live streams, that do the that, you know, the live gaming live streams, that do the that do basic stuff. These are what are called hotkey buttons. So you can program it. So I can program it in my video editor so it'll cut and paste without a problem. I can program it in an audio editor so it can start and stop and create markers. I can put it in a spreadsheet program so it can create formulas and things like that. And even with this, the best part about this is, like I said, all of this right here, these buttons, they're controlling another machine, and then I switch it over here, and now this is controlling a device. How cool is that? And it's right there. I just it's amazing. There's 3 different stream decks plus an iPhone app that will create another stream deck for you. And a lot of people get like multiple stream decks. In fact, this is the XL. I have the original Elgato stream deck, which is a 15 button. This is more than 15, 20, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Anyway, I can't think. Anyway, the whole point is that it does more buttons, but I can also plug in the other stream deck and have even more buttons if I need to. And that's what's cool about that. Because of the ability to switch, everything's at my fingertips. And as you can see, they're pretty effortless. I can switch back and forth without getting confused as to what's where and why's how. And I can do this. Really cool. I could do a lot more effects. I got some buttons free that I could do some other stuff. But if I had another camera set up over here, I could set that up over there, switch between cameras. I can even take the buttons and they do what's called a toggle. So, and I did have the zoom on a toggle at one point in time, but I needed to have, there's a reason why I separated it. But I could have a toggle which would go from this camera over to a camera over here, back over to this camera. So lots of different things. I could even have a button that tweets out, "Hey, I'm live." I could have a button that checks my tweets or how many likes I got, or you know, things like that. So anyway, that's the Elgato Stream Deck, an amazing little device. I am happy with it, and I highly recommend that anybody get this if you're live streaming. You might not need the XL, but there's the small one, which is 6 buttons, and then the 15 button. And the 6 button is like under $100. I think the 15 button's under $100. No, the 15 button is $136. It says so right there. And then this one is more on the lines of $220. But lifesaver. Lifesaver. All right. I think that's pretty much it. Like I said, I showed you. Let's see. There is one thing. I'll do this. The other thing that I'm working on is the tablets. And like I said, I have the Fire tablet right here, which I can turn on really quick and bring it up. And then, like I said, with my Qsc Touch Mix, that's a perfect example. I'll bring that up right here. And then it's looking for the Touch Mix viewers. It finds it, boom, and there I go. I have the ability now to adjust any of the sound that I need to on this tablet right here. But with this tablet, I'm going to be doing a lot more than that. I'm going to be reviewing products, games, apps that you can get on the Amazon Fire system, and even books, possibly you know, what's in Audible, what's in wherever. And we'll definitely be bringing that into the show. But definitely, don't really have too many people here talking, but I know some people have been liking the video, so definitely give it the like and go from there. One more thing, a lot of people ask me about, and that's this thing right here. This pretty sweet little device here. Let's switch over to that. It is a company I met at CES called Dvoom. And they had the Dvoom Pixo digital frame. They have a lot of other digital frames. This looks like 8-bit type frame, which was what I really liked. But you can get them to look really crisp and clear. And you can create your own stuff. As you can see, I created the Geekazine logo. But with Dvoom, there is an app. Let's just unplug this really quick. There's an app. Let's call it up. Dvoom. There we go. All right. So I'm go back over here. So there's the app right there. There's my Geekazine logo. And let's see if, yeah, you can see that in the corner. So I can go into the Galleria. There's a lot of creations. Like, for instance, this little skull guy right here. Look in the back. It just switched over. Look at that. How cool is that? Ha, 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 ha. Anyway, with this, I can switch it through a lot of different things. Of course, I created the Geekazine logo, and that is what you see right behind me on the screen there. And like I said, a lot of people ask about that device, and that is the Dvoom right there. Oh, I forgot to switch over. Let's just switch over to that so you can get to it. Boom. There we are. There it is. So that is the Dvoom, and you can create, like I said, you can create designs fairly easily. It's if you've ever used Paint and did pixel by pixel drawing something, that's the same thing here. And it's pretty cool. It's pretty cool. So, all right, then that's the studio, technically in a nutshell. You want to see the studio a little bit in its dirtiness. I'll just zoom out a little bit, just a little bit. And you can see how the studio is set up. Up on top, I have the chroma key, so I bring that down and do some green screen stuff. There's the PTZ camera, if you're interested. I have this on a mount. And then, of course, I do have a small light, which comes down here to shine on the table, to shine on the back of my head, to give me a little bit more depth. And you can't see it, but Animal is over there by the door because I'm a drummer. And my username online used to be Animalien, which I designed. Animalien meaning animal-like. And yeah, so yeah, that was that. So it all comes together. In the corner over here, you can't see it. We got some time, so let's just let's show you what's over there without showing you the mess too much, because like I said, trying to get the redesign. There's some stuff that I'm going to be reviewing in the future. That is the music corner. Has some keyboards set up. That keyboard that's vertical is a keyboard called The One, and I'm going to be doing a review on that. And of course, I got my guitars over there, and you got the Yeti microphone overhead, and an older MacBook Pro, but it works perfect. We've got the iRig mini keys and the Keystation 88 from M Audio. That's an amazing keyboard. I love that keyboard. It's got a great price to it. I think it's somewhere under $300. And amazing keyboard right there. But anyway, so we're going to be doing a lot of reviews live. And then we'll probably take those recordings and chop them up and then put them up on geekazine.com and other channels. We'll definitely be taking any of your questions. I know that some of you probably have not been here before, so you're not really sure, but I'll definitely try and let you know when I'm online live and doing more. We're going to do a lot more because I love this format. I love the fact that I can come up here and give you an hour show and then have the links ready for you to purchase whatever you need to purchase. and that's super cool. Super cool. So, and of course, I can also promote my wares because I have products. I have t-shirts and sweatshirts. Right now, it's all Geekazine logoed. So if you want to support the channel, definitely go get yourself the Raglan baseball tee. I'll have that towards the end of the week. I'll be wearing it on future episodes. I can't wait for that. And of course, as we're getting into springtime, I'll have more t-shirts and less sweatshirts on. And yeah, it'll be a lot of fun. We'll have a lot of fun with this channel. So if you have any questions, if you have any comments, if you have anything that you want to talk about, you can always contact me. There we are. It's doing that again. Let's try that again. There we go. One more time. Oh, I know what's happening. Okay, that's why it's happening, because I don't have it set up for this new show. It's still thinking my alt show, and I have set up for that. Nothing that you can be concerned about. But the whole point is that you can find me over on the socials at Geekazine, Think Magazine. Put in a geek, and you got me. It's amazing, and I'm hoping to find out what you want me to review, because this is our show, and I'm hoping we will have a little bit more. I'll definitely take some of the stuff that I've interviewed and bring it into the show. So when I go out to conferences, it'll be in the show rather than have its own episode. Because sometimes some things just need a little help to show off, and sometimes it's great to have a little bit of B-roll as I'm creating content. And then I'm going to show you some of my favorite picks. I'm going to show you some of the cool stuff from the Fire 10 tablet, and maybe some other devices as well, apps that we use, programs that we use, and of course I believe Wirecast. You can let's see if I think Wirecast is also on Amazon. Let's do that. The software is up there. Let's go right there. So Telestream Wirecast 1, which is a great small. It doesn't have all the features that I have on my version, which is Wirecast Pro, but it has some great 1 to 2 camera features. There's 3 versions of Wirecast, and then of course the Wirecast Gear, which is a box which has all the software loaded in. So you just basically set the box down, turn it on, plug in your cameras, and go from there. So, and then of course you got some other things. My friend Steve Garfield has his Get Seen Online Video Secrets to Building Your Business. A great book right there. The Wirecast for Streaming Live Events on YouTube by Alex Reyes. I haven't seen that one. That's on Kindle. That's an easy read right there for $9.99. And a lot of other things. That's an old version of Wirecast for Windows 2000 or XP. That's crazy. And then of course a lot of cool things. You got the Elgato Stream Deck, Wirecast X Keys. X Keys is another programmable key system, and as you can see, it gets a little bit more in depth. Whereas this has 25 keys. You can do keys and knobs and wheels and make it look like a regular production studio, and that's, I've used those before. They're pretty sweet as well. Oops, sorry. And then of course there's the mini recorder. I use this mini recorder from Blackmagic on travel. And then many different ideas. If you don't want to do the green chroma key that I'm doing, you can get the Elgato green screen for $159. Folds down, so it's portable, and that's nice. So as you can see, there's a lot of different products that you can get for your live stream, because live streaming today, it's 2020, and I didn't need to tell you that, but it's 2020, and we have so many cool options for live streaming. It's crazy. It's just crazy. I remember setting up my first computer to do live streaming. And that was back in 2008. And I was using a system called Ustream, which IBM bought out. It was super low quality. I was chopping around like this and everything, but I was live streaming and I was using a webcam, like a Logitech webcam, and of course a similar audio system, because as a musician I had mixing boards and I can plug it into the computer, and so I still use that. But since then, cameras have become so accessible. And even the small cameras, where do I do with that? I have like the Dji Osmo Pocket, which is an amazing camera. Where is it? I thought it was right here. Oh well. Anyway, the Dji Osmo Pocket, little lights like this, the Lytra right here, which I use when I'm on the road. Things like this from Ceramonic, which is an audio mixer right here. See how small this is? It's amazing. And then just all the other things. The Rode microphone. This is one of these things a lot of you that do video shoots might be very familiar with. So these are all devices that you can use to create your content, whether it be live stream, whether you're just recording a one-on-one interview or recording your kid playing in the backyard, and you want to get awesome video, awesome color, awesome sound, and have memories for the future. So, all right. I was hoping we get a couple people in the chat to ask some questions, but I know a few people have been watching, so I appreciate you guys for coming to this. This is the first inaugural Geek Tech Talk Live with Jeffrey Powers. If you got any questions, feel free to ask them to me. Let me know. You can find me over on Geekazine, Think Magazine, Put in a Geek, on all the socials that you can think of. And we'll definitely we'll try and talk, and we'll say hi. And I will be back here. We'll have a little bit more. We'll have more structured. We'll have more products. I'm going to be doing some reviews, like I said, with the tablet, not only, but also some music reviews, some tech reviews, live streaming, podcasting. The camera that I showed you earlier, we'll have a review on that, and much more. So I think we're down here. I think we're at we're at the hour mark. Let's see. Is there a way to find out? Where is it? There we go. Yeah, I think we're at the hour mark, so we're gonna leave it at that. And where are we? No, I don't want to edit that image. Return. There we go. So thanks a lot for watching. And if you've watched unrecorded, we'll try and get a regular time frame, so you can come here on a weekly basis and watch me babble on for about an hour, hour and a half. I'm still working on the formats there. So anyway, thanks a lot for watching. You guys geek out. This has been Tech Talk Live, Geek Tech Talk Live with Jeffrey Powers. And take care.